guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is actually going to be going over my birth plan. It may be a little bit short, but I just want to share with you guys some things that are very important to me and the certain kind of experience that I want for my labor and delivery. Obviously, I just want to start off by saying that these are not... She's so precious. Obviously, there are certain things that you cannot plan 100%, but I just want to be as mentally prepared as possible. And I got the opportunity to go over with my doctor this week of the certain things that I want, and out of everything that I kind of really wanted, there was only one thing that he couldn't really promise he could do, which is okay. I am giving birth in a hospital, so I know that certain things are going to have to be restricted, and I don't feel like I have too crazy of a birth plan, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. And I also want to mention that obviously every single pregnancy is different, every birth is different, and every hospital is different as well. So if this is something that you're interested in, like creating a birth plan and having all of these things that you want done for your birth or your labor and delivery, make sure that it's something early on that you know that one, your hospital will accommodate you with, which is another reason why I highly recommend hospital tours, because you can ask them about certain things they allow, certain things they don't allow, their policy procedures, and what, you know, their view is on certain things, into the doctor that you're with, because you want to make sure that they feel comfortable doing those certain types of things. So let's go ahead and get started. So it's kind of just like a little birth plan that they give you at the hospital, and you kind of just go through it. I didn't really like print out my own. They gave it to me when I did the pre-registration, or when I did the hospital tour. They gave me this birth plan, and basically I just went through it, checked marked certain things that I wanted, wrote down any other requests that I had, and this is just the one that I'm going to use because I don't feel like I need to make a new one. So it's broken down into sections, and the first one is for labor. So obviously my plan is to have a natural vaginal birth, and I do want to try to labor as long as I can at home, only because I know that the longer I'm in the hospital, the more medical intervention I will have. And I definitely want to have the least amount of medical intervention necessary. Like I said, I know that I'm giving birth in a hospital, so some things are gonna be inevitable, but I really I don't wanna be hooked up to an IV the whole entire time. I don't wanna be, I don't wanna be there and just be there being monitored, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be there knowing that, okay, in a few hours this baby's going to be here. Like, I already went through most of this at home, I can finish it off here. So the first thing is for labor, I do want dimmed lights. That's, you know, I just want a very relaxed environment. I'm pretty sure that Michael is going to be the only one in the room with me. I don't plan to have anyone else, like my mom or his mom, in there. I really just want it to be just us. I want it to be a very intimate experience, a very relaxed experience. And obviously once the baby is born, I just want it to be a very special time for us to be able to share as a family of 3 together, rather than, you know, having other people in the room. I also mentioned that I would like to be out of the bed as much as possible, so I don't want to be laboring on my back the whole time, which kind of goes into, you know, the epidural and all of that. But I do want to be able to walk around. I think that it's really cool. My hospital, they do have certain rooms that have bathtubs. So you can labor in the tub. You can't do a water birth, but you can labor in the tub, which is really, really cool. So I think I'm probably going to ask for one of those rooms. Hopefully they'll have one available when I get admitted to go into labor. But they just told me that I need to ask, and if they have one, then they'll give it to me. And that way I can labor in the bed, labor in the tub. But if not, then that's perfectly fine. I just want to be able to walk around, be on the ball. They know they have a squat bar, like they have other things. I would like to have a saline lock instead of IV fluids, which this is basically where they put like the drip in your arm, but you're not actually hooked up to the IV the whole entire time. So this is just in case they need to give you IV, or if they need to give you any type of medication. It's just easier because you already have the lock on. They just have to hook it on and you're good. But basically I'll be mobile and I won't have to be walking around with an IV stick, you know, and bag all over the place. Another thing is that I would like to use alternative pain relief such as breathing exercises, massage, shower, and position changes. Again, I'm going for a natural birth. I don't, obviously I don't know what's gonna happen, but as of right now, my goal is to go as natural as possible. I don't plan to have an epidural. I don't want to get an epidural. So I think that it's very important that my doctors and my nurses know this, so that way they don't try to, obviously I'll be in a very vulnerable state, and I just want them to know that I would rather not be offered pain medication, just, you know, offered other ways of relaxation and managing my pain. And I just marked that I'll ask for pain medication if I need it. And then other things on here, just so that you know, you can choose like that you would like an epidural as possible. You could put that you would like to be offered medication if you look or feel uncomfortable. So those, you know, are things that you can request. It doesn't have to be only things that you don't want, you know. Like I said, every birth is different. Whatever you want to do is up to you. And they also have the option where if you want to be put on an epidural right away, you have that option, which is great. And the last thing is that I would like to be able to use portable music and headphones during labor. So I do just want to, I'm probably going to take like a speaker, listen to music. My doctor told me that I could take like an oil diffuser, so that way I can diffuse some oil and kind of just relax my headspace and everything like that. So I am going to take an oil diffuser. And yeah, so those are probably the things I'm going to take. Dim lighting, have my oil diffuser going, maybe be playing some music, try to have it as relaxed as possible. I don't want an epidural. I don't want to be hooked up to an IV. And it actually didn't give me the option here, which I actually forgot to ask him about, but I want to know, and I will ask him at my next appointment if there's any way that I can do it where I'm not constantly monitored. Because obviously with the monitor, you're not able to move much because the monitor is hooked up to the wall. So if you're hooked onto the monitor, you can't really walk around the room. You can't really do much unless you're standing right next to the bed. So I would much rather have, you know, a Doppler, have them follow up with a Doppler, or maybe, you know, every hour or however they do it, if they could, for the heart monitor of the baby. So during delivery, some of the things that, this one was very important to me, that I would like the option to deliver in other positions other than my back if possible. Obviously I know that if I have an epidural, my back is gonna be the only option that I have, but I know that you can give birth in other positions, such as on all fours, or you can be sitting towards the edge of the bed, or, you know, there's just other options that are not on your back, and I'm very, very open to those options. I would rather not give birth on my back, but we'll see what happens. And I just think that it's great that I have that option, obviously, as long as everything is going good, to be able to say like, hey, I want to turn around, or hey, I don't want to push on my back, can we try something else? This was the one thing that kind of like discouraged me a little bit. I really wanted to do the delayed cord clamping for at least 3 minutes. And my doctor told me that unfortunately they cannot do that, that the longest they could do it is only 1 minute, because of whatever reason. So I had to change it, but we are going to do the delayed cord clamping for at least a minute, or the longest of a minute. If they can make it longer, awesome, but he said a minute. So skin-to-skin contact immediately after birth is something that the hospital does anyways. They give you about an hour of skin-to-skin before taking the baby to like weigh them and measure them and do everything. And let's see. So obviously I want Michael to cut the umbilical cord after the delayed cord clamping. and that I would like a mirror to view my birth. So obviously, depending on the position that I'm in, if I'm on my back, then I would like them to hold up a mirror. I mean, even if I feel like if I'm on all fours, that'll be a little bit hard to do. Maybe I would touch my baby's head as it crowns at that point. I don't know, but I just think it's cool that they have that option. And it makes me feel not weird for asking for that. Like, hey, can I view, what she looks like coming out? That's pretty cool. So the postpartum and newborn care, so kind of just how I want after delivery to go. Like I said, I would like to delay newborn procedures for the first hour so I can bond with my baby. That is their procedure at the hospital anyways, obviously, unless there's an emergency where they have to take the baby right away. They do the skin to skin for an hour before they take the baby to weigh them and everything. And then they also wait at least 30 minutes or longer to do to attempt to latch the baby for breastfeeding. I would like my baby evaluated in my partner's presence. So if she does need to be evaluated or taken away from me for whatever reason, I would rather them do it either in front of me and Michael or in front of Michael if they can't keep her next to me. I would like to be consulted before formula or a pacifier is given to my baby. I definitely really want to breastfeed and I really want to try my best. I know that sometimes in the hospital it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if the baby doesn't latch right away, but the baby actually doesn't need to eat for at least over an hour after they're born. So I feel like if you were to take your time, actually talk to a lactation consultant, express your concerns, and really let your nurses know that breastfeeding is something that you really want to do and it's important to you, and that you don't want to have to give formula unless completely necessary, then definitely do it. Like I said, I want to make sure that I get that, and that they know that, so that they don't, kind of goes back to like the pain medication, so that they don't offer it because they know, well, she wants to breastfeed, so we're going to do everything we can to help her breastfeed. If my baby should need to be separated due to medical care or treatment, I would like, obviously, Michael to accompany her. I would rather him go with her, even if there's nothing that he can really do, just to make sure that he's there, rather than stay with me while they take her and, do whatever they need to do, test whatever they need to test. And they do have an option for cesarean. I didn't check anything there just because I don't plan to have a cesarean. And the other request that I have is that I do plan to have my placenta encapsulated. So I just made a note of it here and let them know that I will be having it encapsulated and that I will have everything to prepare it, because you do have to bring your own cooler, bring your own bags. So it's like a little, I think, 3-gallon like Ziploc bag and a cooler, so that way you can put the placenta in there and the company will come and pick it up. So yeah, that's basically it for the birth plan. Like I said, it was something very simple, nothing too crazy. I am giving birth in a hospital, so there are certain things that I know can and cannot be done, but I feel like as far as having the most natural experience possible, this is definitely reasonable. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will be doing, my next video will probably be my cloth diapering, aside from my next week update. But it'll probably be the cloth diapering video. So I will talk to you guys about everything that I bought to prepare to cloth diaper, how much it costs, how I plan to do it, some of the research that I've done, and yeah. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!